All right, welcome in 4th and 5, another episode presented by Ortho Arkansas, and I'm going to just get right into it. There's a lot to talk about, and I hate to say it, it's not going to be pretty. I could sit here and show you all the good things that happened in the game, but I just kind of want to focus on why we lost. I believe that's what y'all want to hear, and that's what we're going to show you. I'm going to show you clips of Taylen Green, more so the not so good, and the questions are starting to arise. Is he going to be able to cut it of being an efficient, consistent quarterback here in the SEC for the Arkansas Razorbacks? We're going to dig into that. We're going to dig into our offensive line. I think it's time to start having conversations about who we're going to put up front, who's going to come in. The simple fact that we haven't done that already with what I've seen on tape so far in the past 4 weeks makes me believe we don't have a lot of options. But I just blew my mind when I was talking about Blackstock. You know, he got into it with Andrew Armstrong on the sideline. Armstrong, he did his part as a leader and said, guys, we got to step up and get after it. Heard they got into an altercation to the point where Taylen Green had to break them up. But when I heard this story about Blackstock, and it kind of got my blood boiling just a little bit about when he first was getting recruited between Michigan State and Arkansas and why he chose not to go to Arkansas. I heard that he made a comment saying Arkansas couldn't afford me. We're going to roll some tape today, and y'all let me know, is he overpriced? I'm just going to leave it at that. And I just think the tape will speak for itself. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the tape right now. As we bring it up, I'm going to start with the first drive of the game. This is the first time I saw Taylen really struggle with making a decision, the right decision, that is, when it comes to the option game, the mesh point. You can see right here, this guy clearly in a position for Taylen to hand this off. Keeps the ball, bad decision. Second play of the game, now 2nd and 12. A nice little quick pass to Isaiah Satania. Only picks up 2 yards, but if you roll that back, this is only the second play of the game, and in my opinion, already 2 mental mistakes. This right here on the receiving core. So this guy inside, he's responsible and has Isaiah man-to-man. I believe the key of this concept is to get the ball to Isaiah so he can outrun that guy to the sideline and try to get up for more yardage. These 2 receivers, I believe, are supposed to block these 2 DBs ahead of them. But I think they had a missed assignment right here because I just don't see a concept where you throw Isaiah into the corner on the edge of the defense right here. As you can see, we press play, just throws right into them. I believe they blocked the wrong guys. Now we got a 3rd and 10. And these are the plays that seem fun, right? Taylen back in the pocket, creates time, keeps his eyes downfield, throws a beautiful ball down the sideline to Isaac Tesla. Everybody's going crazy, all right? I just can't help it. When I see plays like this, I see a bad read on 1st down. I see missed assignments on 2nd down, and I see what should have been a sack on 3rd down. I think we're in trouble. Just look at your pass protection right here. Carmona setting up, oversets, guy beats him underneath. You got Blackstock. This defensive end for A&M is a real deal. I'll give him that. But he gets underneath his pads and allows pressure. And then you have our left guard giving up pressure too. It's a miracle that wasn't a sack on 3rd down. A sack should have been a loss, turned into a touchdown. We're rolling, all right? At least that's what we're thinking, but still on tape, so many things that I saw in just the first 3 plays of the game that had me reason to be a little bit concerned. It continued to pop up. We're going to talk more about the offensive line here in a second, but first let's go ahead and focus on Taylen. A lot of people have been asking me so many questions, and it's almost impossible to get to them all. But I do believe sometimes it's not always on the offensive line while he's running out the pocket. The plays are there. He just has to be a little bit better with his pre-snap reads. And even when he's bad with his pre-snap reads, just stay in the pocket and deliver the ball. So many misses. A lot of it is because he just tries to throw it to Armstrong all the time, and he's missing so many open receivers. Take a look at this 2nd and 5 right here. As we get rolling, you can see Taylen gets out the pocket. And if we just roll it back a little bit, no reason to get out of this pocket. Look over here to the left side of the line of scrimmage. I take that back. Let's go ahead and start with Armstrong. He's the number 3 receiver. You can see him right here. As soon as he stumbles, Taylen's looking right at him because he's usually locked in on him. He gives up on the play. All right. Instead of getting to his progression of the second receiver, as I go ahead and roll back right here, okay, Armstrong slips. It is what it is. Get to your second guy. Look at Tesla right there. Beautiful route, an option route. I'm assuming that's what it is. Taylen should be snapping his eyes to his second guy in the progression and get the ball out. But I think a combination of lack of confidence in his offensive line, rightfully so, and just not being that type of guy who can do that under pressure. He gets out of the pocket and instead plays with his legs. I think that's where he feels most comfortable, but no reason to get out here and throw the ball away. 3rd and 5. This is what's wild. Tesla comes in motion. That guy follows him. Huge indicator of that's man-to-man coverage. You're going to see a lot of offenses put guys in motion, sometimes to get an idea of what the defense is trying to do here on this 3rd and 5. When that guy follows Tesla, that's when Taylen should know it's man-to-man coverage. Now I at least know it's coming on the defensive side of the ball. And as we press play, look at this concept. You have Isaiah Satania runs a perfect rub concept, and Taylen's looking right at it. I don't understand what is keeping him from throwing this ball right here. Get the ball out right now. Tesla's going to be wide open. I don't get it. Decides to get out of the pocket and run and throw the ball away. Turnover on downs. You're starting to see my concerns when it comes to Taylen Green. I get he's running around a lot, but I would say about 60% of that time he doesn't need to. Got to be a better quarterback. An elite quarterback can figure this stuff out, at least by week 5. Another one right here, you can see a overthrown ball to Broden on the outside, but still, again, I mean, look at Tesla. Great route, great concept. This is just 2nd and 10. Get some yards on 2nd and 10. Get a manageable 3rd down, and he takes the hard route there for no reason. I think once again, it's just a consistent thing of him locking onto the receiver he wants to throw it to before the snap, and not going through progression to find guys that are just wide open. Let's go ahead and move to a 1st and 10 right here. He should understand with this too. He's eyeing Armstrong. That's his guy. But this play, easy, drawn up for Washington, coming out right there. Ball should be out right now. Look how many yards are ahead of Washington. Just very late. Last minute, he decides to dump it off. The ball gets tipped. In a perfect world, I would love the tight end to make that catch. Should have got out a whole lot earlier, gave him a chance to turn up the field and get a 1st down. Just once again, he's deciding who he wants to throw to before the ball is even snapped. That's a big no-no. You have to always understand if number 1's not open to get through your progression. Week 5, still struggling. All right, let's get to this 1st and 10 right here. Same thing. First guy isn't there. He understands, and this is a good pre-snap read. See that safety moving to the middle of the field, pressure coming. He wants to go outside. Broden's not out there. I believe that's Anthony, a little bit smaller receiver. He decides not to go ahead and throw the deep ball. But look at these slants. What's keeping it right now from throwing to Tesla across the middle of the field? Nothing. Ball should be out right now. Decides to get out of the pocket. Now, he does deliver a strike, and it ends up being a 1st down right there. But still, you don't have to do all that. The plays are right there. Coach Petrino is dialing it up. I know a lot of people are starting to say, what about Coach Petrino? What about Coach Petrino? Why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he doing that? Now that you're looking at the film, the plays are there. Just got to get a guy who can go ahead and execute the plays at a high level under pressure. And I know Coach P, if he's still in there, he must not have the most confidence in the other guys behind him, but something soon has to start shaking up. A lot of people ask me too, why were we not running the ball? And I'll show you here in just a second. And before y'all think I forget about this, the last drive of the game, why? Trust me, stick around for that. Defensively, when they gave up that touchdown, a lot of people have been asking me, why didn't we have our starters on our defensive line? I'm going to show you what happened, and it'll just blow your mind because I'm with you on this one, and I will address the fake field goal. We're just getting started. All right, let's keep it going. Pick up a 1st and 10 right here. Taylen drops back. This is just a missed opportunity. This is what you want right here as we press pause. You see the safeties? All day they've been having a safety in the middle of the field, usually some cover 1, man-to-man type situation. They're in a cover 2 right now. Both safeties are split. The good thing about college, which makes this a lot easier to see, a lot of people may not know this, but the hashes, those dotted lines type thing, they're a lot further apart in college than they are in the NFL. In the NFL, those hashes are a lot closer together. So it makes it just about as easy as possible in college to understand when they're in cover two, when you have these two safeties outside the hashes. So usually when that happens, especially with this Mike linebacker down, no one covering the middle, if you can get a guy on a post route, should be a touchdown. Should be an easy 6. You can't miss these throws. And these things continue to happen. Every once in a while, we give an excuse. Oh, that's just a bad ball here. That's a bad ball there. It's happened for about 4 or 5 weeks now. And as much as I'm getting on to Taylen right now, this is just the standard. This is the expectation. A lot of people are probably going to say, DJ, why are you coming down so hard on him? DJ, why are you coming so down hard on him? We're in the SEC, and we want to win football games as a fan base. These are the conversations that need to be happening, all right? I would sit here and love to just point out all the great things that he did against Texas A&M, which there were plenty. There really were. It may not look like it, but there was, given the circumstances. But if we want to win games like that, this is the tone that needs to happen moving forward. Ball thrown behind, could have been a pick, should have been a touchdown. All right, let's go ahead and pick up on this 1st and 10. Another situation. Taylen feels a little pressure, gets outside the pocket, and throws the interception. All right, this is if y'all can backtrack with me, week 2 against UAB, he did this exact same thing. He rolled out to the right, remember it if you will, and he threw the ball across his body. And I said in that breakdown, I bet the coaches were on the sideline all holding their breath saying, oh, no, because that's usually a recipe for an interception. Now, Armstrong, in that case, made an amazing catch. But I even said back then, those are the type of throws you almost wish they don't make, and you just live to fight another day. Exact same situation right here. Almost exact same scenario. This time, ball thrown way behind. And you just can't make those throws. Can't do it. You got to know better than that. All right, let's go ahead and shift gears. Let's get to while we weren't running the ball. All right, so a lot of people will see this play right here. 2nd and 4. Jackson, look at this. Let's go for a touchdown. All right. Now, Jackson's bread and butter is a big cutback guy. He presses the line of scrimmage. He looks for that cutback. He hits it and gets in the hole. He's really good at that. Well, these guys up front for A&M were a different ball game. Take a look at Braun right here, your right guard. They did a really good job, A&M, of using the momentum of bad technique against the offensive lineman. Braun right here is lunging. Look at that swim move. Threw him right down on his face, closed down the gap that he would typically try to bounce in and get some yards. Bounce this outside, and whenever that happens and things start shifting outside when the run is supposed to be designed to go inside, you got these offensive linemen just pushing, trying to hold their blocks, and then the back goes outside and everything shifts. We got away with one right here. Take a look at Carmona. You get a nice little hold. Nice little hold. See, this is what's tricky. If they would have called this would have been tough for Carmona. He's got a good handful because his track, he's trying to push up field, trying to kick that guy out to where now Jackson is rolling. He sees it. He's like, uh-oh. And so that easily could have been a hold call. And this is just kind of lays the foundation of why the run game didn't work. It just worked out on that play. But then you start looking at plays like this, just blown up in the backfield, no push up front. Let's just keep the ball rolling right here. Too much penetration. Let's just go back one right here. Look at the right guard right here. Not enough on this D tackle. He just put a little shimmy chicken wing out there. You got to get way more on this to help out your center. Too much penetration. Gets you a tackle for a loss. Another one right here, just, you have to understand the concepts of what's going on. This will be a really good episode later this week when Grant Cook comes on to explain this a little bit deeper detail, try to get into their mind and what they're thinking. But this guard right here is supposed to be working up with this tackle, that defensive tackle, up to the linebacker. Now, they did a little stunt, kind of threw him off, but I believe this guard stayed a little too much. He just needs to continue his track up to this backer. But he hesitated and then gets beat. I mean, if that's not the case, Jackson comes right through this hole. And so little things like this is why Petrino stopped trying to run the ball. It just wasn't working. They couldn't get it figured out. All right, let's get to some. All right, so remember when I said when Blackstock made the comment? Now, like I said, I heard this from somebody who I feel pretty confident in. I don't think it's out there, but I do believe this was said. And I've learned long enough in this career, don't really say something if you know it's all smoke and mirrors. All right. So when Blackstock made the comment, could have been joking when he says, I went to Michigan State because Arkansas couldn't afford me. Look at this play. Look at the right tackle. They shift down at the last minute. When that happens, I should easily come out in this pass protection. I mean, completely. I mean, how many times have we seen that this year of offensive linemen just not blocking anyone? How do you miss that? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And then let's pick up once again. You can see just this is just lack of just awareness, being an athlete. All right. You're going to see it a little bit better from this angle. Guys running free. Once again, be an athlete. Blackstock. Look at him right now. As soon as this guy comes in, pass him off to the guard. Pass him off. And then get back on this guy blitzing. Just I'm going to leave that one for Grant Cook. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong. I don't know. This is bad football. And this is a coaching staff. Look at that. See that look? I feel you, coach. I watched this from the press box, and I was looking because I noticed they didn't have enough guys on the field. Somebody who's supposed to be on that field goal unit is just looking up at the Jumbotron. All right. It's crazy because that happened to Broderick Green back in 2010. All right. It is a big Jumbotron, and it is distracting. But situation like this, you burn a timeout that you potentially needed for sure at the end of the game. Now, this is where I would put into question the coaching right here because usually when you run a fake, you kind of want to catch them off guard, all right? And when you call timeout, then you give the coaches opportunity to huddle up and then say, hey, just be aware of a fake right now. This guy really isn't the best at long-distance field goals. Let's just be aware of it. I think if it's more in the momentum of a game, that's how you run that. But when you catch them off guard and don't give them opportunities for coaches to remind players about the fake. Now let's get to this fake. I don't know what's going on because the holder is trying to throw this. I believe the punter was supposed to run 100%. Why he's acting like he's going to throw, no idea. I mean, just you talk about miscommunication on one of the biggest levels. I ain't never seen anything like that. All right. Let's get to that. The defensive series a lot of people have been asking me about. Why were our starters not in the game? I don't understand this one. 97 comes out of the game. All right. You can see him walking off the field right here on this third down. All right. And his backup comes in. So he is Landon Jackson's backup. All right. This guy's backup comes in. So now we're on the third string defensive end. And I'll be honest. I could take the time to look. Number 9. I'll just highlight them for you. And they run 3 plays in a row, back to back. I'll show you to that backup. And my dude's not ready to be on an SEC football field. And that's just the harsh truth, but it is what it is. You roll the tape and you let me know. Look at him right here. Try to play this read, this option right here. He's still looking at the quarterback. Their running back's already passed him. I mean, what are you looking at? Talk about. He shouldn't have been on the field. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if Landon was tired. I'm not sure. But as we get to the next play, he can't even get lined up. He's still trying to get down in this 3-point stance after the ball is snapped and everyone else is moving. He gets completely washed down. Play goes to his side again. Another big gain. In a crunch time situation, I don't get it. And then you go to the 2nd and 2. Very next play. Same thing. He's going to be one-on-one with this right tackle, and he's just – now I get it. Get thrown in. This is my thing. If you're Landon Jackson, if you're the defensive coach, I mean, you got 2 timeouts right here. You have to figure out a way to get your guy on the field. Number 9, just not ready for that type of football right now. And so defensive line coach, if it was Landon Jackson, said, hey, I need a break. Not in these moments. I seen your projections. You got to figure out a way to get on the field. 97, got to stay out there on the field. there's no reason this kid should have been in right here. Now, he probably has a bright future. I hope he grows. I hope he gets strong. But in a moment like this, you need your guys. And for your guys to be on the sideline, just ain't going to cut it. We already know how the rest is written. So when it comes to this game, like I said, I could have sit here, talked about all the good things that happened, which there were. I may talk about some of those in, a little bit later in the week with this episode. I just wanted to focus on the things that are issues. So now the question comes, what do we do next? The conversations need to happen. Taylen, can you get this figured out, or is it time to find someone else who will? I hope it gets figured out for him because I think he's a great guy. But you have to be able to put emotions and relationship aside and do what's best for your team. As far as the offensive line is concerned, just copy and paste exactly what I just said. They got to get that figured out, or it's going to be in pretty bad shape. So very interested to see how this next week plays out. And the thing is, this is where I'm very interested to see if Coach Pittman still has a hold on that team, because the schedule we got coming up, this is where you see a team be resilient or completely fall apart. All right, this thing could start snowballing after a loss like that. And it doesn't help that you have a very talented Tennessee team who can put up points and also keep people off the board at the same time. So this will be the test. All right, don't expect to win, but this will be the test to see the type of resilience and will that we've heard this team has in the offseason. We're going to find out some true colors and what type of character these guys got this week. Appreciate y'all watching 4th and 5. Y'all stay tuned for the rest of the week. Sorry I couldn't get to it all. There's so much more I need to talk about this game when it comes to decision-making, even small things like why, like I said, Isaiah Satania fielding punts inside the 10 to 5-yard line consistently. Just little things that kind of still just blow my mind. But I always appreciate y'all tuning in, having a great one. And the best thing you can do right now, if you appreciated that video, just hit that subscribe button. I've seen the stats. All right, 70% of the people watching ain't clicking the subscribe button. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just letting you know I'd really appreciate it. All right, y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all later.